Now, the world we live in today has become a very, very unstable and dangerous place. Even America, most people would never have thought that our country would get in the position that it's in. I myself am a baby boomer. I grew up after World War II, went through the Cold War with Russia, and I've seen this country change, this world change, and it is more dangerous and more unstable now than it has ever been in the history of mankind. And it seems like today everybody and their dog has nuclear capabilities and threaten everybody. In my lifetime, of just the last couple of weeks, Russia has threatened us, and there is no public outcry. People are totally oblivious to what's going on around them. And it's a very, very frightening place. Our leaders don't seem too concerned. The world doesn't seem too concerned. But it is a dangerous place and getting worse by the minute when you factor in the constant threat of terrorism, the economic collapse that the potential for economic collapse that we're facing now. The government's foreseeable obligations of $59 trillion. The problems in the Middle East, the conflict between Iran and Israel. Iran is threatening even its Arab neighbors. Right? Now we'll make a little scenario here, one that to me is one of the more plausible ones. 40% of the oil flowing to the free world goes to the Strait of Hormuz, okay, which is only 7 miles wide, of which only 3 miles is navigatable. Now, should Iran and Israel get into it, or Iran close the Strait of Hormuz, a 40% curtailment in oil to the free world would cause panic in hours. Right? The trucks would stop. There wouldn't be enough oil for the world to function as we know it until that got back to normal, and that could take a long time. That could take a long time. Even if the oil was turned off for a month, it could take a year for it to restabilize. In other words, your life could be very greatly affected, and food distribution, among other things, becomes subject to governmental control. In other words, you might be standing in food lines to get what you stand in now when you go to the market with it, may be controlled, and or maybe even not even available for some periods of time. Considering the threats, it makes good sense now to store food. So what you do, my suggestion is, shop large at the store now. Always keep your pantry full, okay? Because the problems may be short term. And then have a secondary plan, ready reserve products, in case the problem becomes protracted. Say a year's supply of food that you can supply your family with in the event this problem lasted a long time, which it could easily do. Ready Reserve Foods has been in continuous operation for the last 36 years, since 1972. I guess what that means is nothing but experience, time, and good judgment. That has value in itself, and you receive that value in our products when you get them. The quality is there. But what makes us unique, it's what we can and how we can it. Right? First off, we start out with the best can money can buy, which is a heavy gauge can. It's enameled on the inside and outside. The enamel on the outside stops the atmosphere from touching the bare metal, keeps it from rusting. The enamel on the inside does the same thing. It also keeps the food from contacting the bare metal. Right? And we place high quality, low heat dehydrated food that's been dehydrated down to about 3% moisture content, maybe a little less in some areas. Place it in the can, put a lid on the can, and pull all the oxygen out of it, evacuate it, flood it with inert dry nitrogen, and then seal it up. Now you have an atmosphere in there that's dry and doesn't contribute to the breakdown of the food. If you store it properly, 15 years shelf life is easily obtainable out of the food. So now that food for the next 15 years, or better in some cases, is available for you should you need it. You may ask yourself, what is dehydrated food? Well, dehydrated food is food that's been just very slowly dried and the moisture's been removed. All the products we sell are the food you eat on a daily basis. All the fruits and vegetables and grains and beans and rice. Everything you eat on a daily basis except it's dried. And you just bring it back to its original condition by adding water. It's that simple. So your lifestyle doesn't change in an emergency. It's just the same dishes you were eating. You can produce the same dishes you were eating the day before the disaster. So, and that in itself is a comfort, because you don't go from eating nice home-cooked meals one day to eating, shall we say, substandard meals the next. All this stuff is the stuff that you buy at the market with the moisture gone. And all you do is re-add the moisture and you're back to normalcy. And that's what we're trying to create, is normalcy in your life. You have, at least in a disaster or an emergency or a bad situation, you are now just, that part of your life is back to normal. What I'm leaning at right now, on this pallet, to make it real easy, is enough food for 4 people for 1 year. Right? This is our largest unit. It's called a family unit. But contained on this pallet in these 38 different boxes, it's already been figured out for you. There's enough food to feed 4 people for 1 year. We have smaller units that go down into the days for 1 person, and everything in between. So this isn't a big learning process for most people, and you don't have to work at it very hard. Just purchase it, place it in a cool, dry place, and it'll always be there for you. Now here's a really good analogy. Everybody has 5 wheels in their car, or should. You got the 4 on the ground and the 1 in the trunk. You don't get in your car, drive off going, I'm going to go get a flat because I want to put that tire on the ground. But it's always there should you get a flat. And everybody's going to get a flat. If you drive enough, you will get a flat. And you have it in the car. The other thing, you get in the car, you put your seatbelt on. You don't say to yourself, I'm going to go have an accident, but just in case you have that accident, the seatbelt's there. So all these things, you do preparedness things just out of routine and don't even think about it. This is just taking preparedness one step further. And the likelihood of something bad now happening is getting probably more probable than you having an accident, or reaching the same probability of you having an accident or having a flat now. And it's going to affect all of us. And we haven't even begun to discuss the social ramifications and the social unrest should a panic happen, and all those that aren't prepared, their reaction, a la rioting, martial law, civil unrest. It would be extremely dangerous, of our own making. And the best way to avoid that is be prepared and not have to go out into it.